Hey, what's up, guys? Paul Reed fan here. Welcome back to the channel. I got a new mic today, so we'll see how that works. Probably will sound a little better, hopefully. Other than that, let's just dive right into the video. Today, I'm just gonna go over the divisional round matchups. We got, I feel like, a lot better games in the wild card week. Feels like there's only one real upset. But let's just go on. Let's just go into it. We're gonna go through chronological order, so we'll go into Chiefs Texans right away. Um, I think that I'm going to go into all these games looking at the possibilities for an upset. So I'm looking at the possibility that Houston upsets the Chiefs. It's going to have to come off of their defense and the Chiefs not having enough skill position firepower to get it done. And let's just start on that defense. These edge rushers are unbelievable. We saw them wreck the game so much, and we saw the back end be able to force turnovers. I really think the Houston defense is what is the lifeblood of this team, what is the identity of this team. It's not the offense. Even though they brought in so many guys, they brought in a bunch of big names, receiver talent. They have CJ Stroud, Joe Mixon came too. That's not the identity, it's the defense. The defense is the identity of this team, and they're going to need to ball the fuck out to beat the Chiefs or have a chance in this game. On the flip side, their offense, they're going to need CJ Stroud to outperform, not Patrick Mahomes, not maybe outperform isn't the greatest word, but be unbelievable. Make quick decisions, make the right decisions, make plays out of structure, and basically be perfect. Now, those are the pathways for there to be an upset. I'm going to talk about the Chiefs now. They have Patrick Mahomes, who's maybe one of the greatest talents we've ever seen, playoff riser. So I actually, out of respect for him, I'm not even adding a, a Patrick Mahomes stinker as a possibility for this game, just out of the pure respect I have. Maybe there's a little glaze, but for him as a quarterback. As for their skill position, I still think Travis Kelce is the X factor here. The corners and safeties might be able to bracket the wide receivers, Xavier and Hollywood and D-Hop. But Kelce just finding ways to get open is still Mahomes' go-to guy, and I think that's what's going to really come through here. And as for the defensive side, this is where I really see this upset, like the upset narrative falling apart, because the Houston's O line is just awful. It's so bad. It's a bottom five O line in the league. And when you're going against this defense with this pass rush, and maybe no, not maybe, the best designer for a pass rush for a blitz concept in Spags, Steve Spagnuolo, that's where the narrative kind of feel like it dies. Anyway, all that being said, both sides of the game, I am of course choosing the Chiefs. Obviously, there is somewhat of a path, but when I lay out these when I lay out these games and I give you like the pathway to an upset, and then I give you like the cemented stuff that is gonna happen probably, it breaks the narrative for an upset. And yeah, I have the Chiefs winning 28-20. It could be lower score. I could see this being a lower scoring game, but that's where I'm at right now for this. And then that Saturday night game, let's roll into that, is the Commanders and Lions. Personally, guys, this is the one that I don't see there being any type of route for the Commanders to win this. I think that Jaden could get rolling. I think he's playing like a top 5 quarterback in the league. I think he's unbelievable. He's calm under pressure. He uses his legs like Lamar, and he also is great out of structure, finding Terry McLaurin for the deep ball, finding everybody for the deep ball, just finding people to keep moving the chains. Him in short down territory on third and fourth down Already one of the best quarterbacks in the league for that. It's ridiculous how good he is in short down territory for just anything. It's ridiculous. And they're going for it, and just kind of like the Lions, where they're going for it at a higher and higher rate, and it's working. So we'll see, we'll see. But speaking more on Jaden, he has to be more than Superman this game. He has to be perfect. I don't think they can punt it. I think they have to keep just churning out points off of every drive, because for the Commanders' offense and how good I think they could be, their defense against this Lions offense, it's a different story. It really is a different story. The Lions offense moves the ball so easily. It's every time I watch them, there's just a steadiness of their offense, of Goff, the O line, the running game, the receiving talent, the play calling. There's just a steadiness of, we're gonna run the ball 2 times, we're gonna get 20 yards, and then we're gonna do a play action pass. Amon-Ra is gonna sit down. We just moved the ball 30 yards easily, and then we're gonna do. We're gonna line up the exact same way we did for all of those plays, and we're gonna do a lateral, and it's just out of nowhere, or we're gonna throw the ball at an offensive lineman. Just when I watch them, they'll have these just regular little left zone run, just simple concept, and then they'll line up the exact same way, and it'll look like a zone run, but then you have JMO coming in for reverse, and then Jared Goff is behind him, so they pitch back to him, and then you have one of the offensive linemen that slipped through, and you're taking a shot there. Their offense is unbelievable, and the Commanders' defense just is not going to be able to hang with it. Again, looking at this for an upset possibility, maybe Goff has a monumental stinker, but I don't see it happening. Not to that level. I have the Lions winning 37-27. 10-point win for the Lions. Okay, let's keep it moving. We have the Eagles and the Rams, a rematch of an earlier game this year where the Eagles were dominant. Saquon Barkley had over 300 scrimmage yards just himself. And I see the same result happening. Not Saquon with the 300 scrimmage yards, but the Eagles winning. Now, again, speaking from how an upset can happen, Matt Stafford is very, very good. And though Kupp hasn't looked great, Puka and him have that connection. Matt Stafford uses his eyes so well. It's unbelievable. He just looks people off and he makes great reads under pressure, standing in the pocket. Him, Puka, and if Kupp turns on, this offense could really roll. Now, how much against this amazing defense? That's the question. They're going to have to be very good to beat this Eagles team. And not even put up points like that. I mean, be very good against this Eagles defense. And I'm not saying they have to outpace the Eagles offense, because this Eagles offense has struggled. And let's speak on those struggles. I think that we saw a combination of Kellen Moore and Jalen Hurts, their deficiencies in that first playoff game. A lot of people are trying to give Jalen an out because of the route concepts, but you just have to understand, when you watched him play the game, he's double clutching, standing in the pocket too long. He's leaving a clean pocket to run, and then 5 yards out, he turns around and just sits down for like a 2-yard gain. He didn't trust himself, and that might be because of the concussion, but the entirety of me watching Jalen, the good and the bad, I've never questioned his confidence. I felt like he's always had a confidence in himself. He always preaches that, like, the work shows on the field, like how hard he's worked is why he has confidence to be who he is as a quarterback. And I saw that shaky, and I'm a little worried about that. I've seen him play better. I'm not worried about the play. I'm worried about his confidence and how it's going into this game that we should win. We should beat the Rams. Granted, this might not be the biggest problem, as they have an undersized D-line, even though it's still very good. We have the best offensive line in the game. Jared Verse might cause a little bit of havoc. But we're gonna pound Saquon. We have that always in our back pocket, and that's the identity of our offense. We need to. Jalen needs to make quicker reads. He needs to get the ball out quickly to AJ Moore, Devonta, Goddard. He found Jahan. We just, I need the offense to look good. I need Jalen to look good. But even if it doesn't, if Jalen doesn't have an ultimate collapse where he has 2 turnovers, I still think we win. Because as we saw with the Green Bay game, even though Jalen didn't do much and didn't look good, he didn't have that back-breaking turnover. And so we just kind of grinded it out. We left Green Bay in the game too long, but still we relied on our defense fully, and we ended up winning 22-10. Now, say Jalen only has maybe 1 turnover, but his confidence and is more of a gunslinger, standing in the pocket, making quicker reads. The offense does a little better. That'd be fine. I'd be okay with that. And I'd love to see him use his legs more confidently. That's all. Again, it's a lot of talk on Jalen. I'm sorry, but let's turn back over to the Rams offense, which is really where they're going to have to win this game. Because when the Eagles offense is on and Jalen's playing good, there's no one that can stop him. That's neither said here. But back to this Rams offense, they're going to need Kupp to come alive. He has looked older. They're going to need to have that 2-man game of Puka and Kupp, where we're basically going to have to pick and choose who to leave on an island. Because a lot of the time, our identity was sometimes leaving Slay on an island and then the safety moving over to the Mitchell side. So Slay just has to ISO the guy. And you actually saw Jordan Love try to attack that a couple times in this game, in the Green Bay game, where he sees that Slay is on an island, he throws it up, and Slay actually got a pick off that. So that's not going to be an option in this game because they have 2 elite wide receivers. I think they're going to be able to lock up enough. I'm just kind of rambling here. If you're for whatever reason listening to this, my thoughts are that we should win this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think we win 27-20. That was a lot of talking, and these videos aren't exactly planned out super much. It's just kind of me constantly going over the information in my head. I probably should have this stuff written down more, as this probably isn't very fun, not a fun watch or listen. I'm just spewing out points of the game. But I'm just gonna keep. I'm trying to keep grinding out content to get more used to talking to people, because in person I feel much more comfortable having a more streamlined, is that the word, or just better flowing dialogue. That obviously is, at least in my mind in this video, I'm like monotone, just spewing out just game points and just keys of the game, which probably is so fucking boring, but who knows? Who cares? Nobody is watching this. Okay, let's wrap up the week on the divisional weekend on a high note. We have Ravens Bills. This game is unbelievable. You have the 2 MVP candidates. You have these defenses that have been playing better, much better in the last 7 weeks. And you have these 2 fan bases who have been clashing, going at each other online, arguing their guy, finally meeting in the divisional round to move on in the playoffs to probably play the Chiefs. And I have the Ravens. I think earlier in the year, I would have picked the Bills, as I would have said Josh Allen is the MVP, which I did pick him for MVP. I'm not switching on that, mainly because if you want to hear who I picked for MVP and why, listen to the Taste Buds podcast, our first episode where we go over all of our end of season awards. Little plug there for the boys. We had Josh Allen as my MVP, but Lamar is very close second. And if we're speaking on offenses, I think Josh Allen has to be Superman, who I think he will be, but the skill position talent won't be enough. Or will it? I mean, he's just such a transformative player. I think it really comes down to the Ravens offense and Derrick Henry being better. That's it. I literally see this game like maybe not having that like you're better. I'm just gonna have like end of the game, not end of the game. Let me rephrase this. Let me rephrase this. The first quarter of this game is going to dictate everything. If the Ravens hop on pop by 2 possessions, 10 points, it might be over. The Bills need to be aggressive in their play calling. Sean McVay, oops, wrong. Sean McDermott needs to be aggressive in his play calling. If they're at midfield, it's 4th and 3. Even at the first drive of the game, you have to go for it. You have to give the ball to your Superman, and you have to put up points early on this Ravens team, or they can just squeeze you with their run game. They can just hold the ball for a long time, have long sustained drives, and end the game on Derrick Henry and Lamar's back. On the flip side, for the Bills to get up on top quickly, it's a completely different story. Say the Bills hop up 10, 14 points early. That makes the Ravens have to throw the ball more. You can't go to Derrick as much. You have to put the ball in Lamar's hands more. And what we've seen in the playoffs and just some regular season games as well is they don't operate that way as well as they wish they could just pound it on the ground, read options all the way down the field. But I still think Lamar has the ability to do that. But I think this first quarter is going to dictate everything. If you're watching this game, you need to really focus on the first quarter, and I think you'll understand where the game's going from there. Whichever team hops on top first, I feel like is going to win. But I think there also is a very real possibility where they just keep trading blows back and forth until the end of the game. And in that scenario, I would pick Josh Allen. I do trust him to finish the game off. But I really trust this Ravens offense staying on top by a score or two the entire game and just squeezing them with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. I don't see a Lamar collapse. I don't see an Allen collapse. I see two amazing teams trading blows. Two amazing teams, which Ravens probably have a better defense. Yeah, they do. But the Bills' run defense is top 10 the last 7 weeks. They've really turned it on the last 7 weeks. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Really excited for this divisional week. I have a couple more videos planned out for coming up. One about the Sixers and their state, just what I think about them. And if you guys want to hear my recap of the wild card week and some other people's opinions, some more depth talking about these divisional games, please visit the Taste Buds podcast. Link in description. And if you want me to have a little more energy, tell me. I am laying in my bed recording this. So if I'm out and about, I am definitely more animated, probably throwing a little more jokes in there, but right now I'm just kind of chilling, knocking out a video. Go Birds, go Sixers, go Phils, go Flyers, go Hokies.